How goes everybody? Welcome back to Patterson Hill Properties. Hopefully you guys are having a great evening. Today's subject, I'll be talking about how single family home for rents for single family homes have actually gone up tremendously. So it's a very interesting topic, and I definitely wanted to talk about it, because there's a huge and growing demand of single family homes that has gone up tremendously since the 2020 pandemic. Most people know this is no big secret. We're even living in times where corporations are buying up single family homes at an alarming rate and whatnot. And more single family homes are, there's a demand. If people can't, actually afford to buy one, they want to at least rent one because they want to be able to have the yard. They want to be able to have space so that they can work out, operate their business, et cetera, and so forth. The big shift of people wanting to live in smaller spaces so that they can have the convenience of the city kind of diminished during the pandemic when everything in the major cities was shut down. Because that's the whole purpose of anybody choosing to live in a major city nowadays. They want to be able to have the convenience to, walk to the store, walk to their job, or take a bus to their job, or metro to their job, or be able to even be convenient, have the convenience to be able to see a show on any level, from an actual music show, from a comedy, comedy festivals, things of that nature. People want that convenience. The article that I came across today really goes into how rents for single family homes just saw the largest, and I say the largest gain in nearly 15 years. Now, this doesn't surprise me at all, family, given the fact that, the national housing shortage across the United States with no real end in sight. It's been going on for a while now, even before the pandemic. The article stated that single family home rents actually were up to 5.3% with an increase of 2.4%. And when it boils down to it, the article is talking about 20 of the most major metropolitan areas when it comes to the real estate markets, like, the norm: Los Angeles, California, New York City, Washington, D.C. However, Phoenix, Arizona was considered to be one of the most highest markets within the United States of America, who saw one of the biggest upticks for single family home rents. The article also stated that even as the pandemic ebbs down and Americans are getting back to work and back to play, if you don't notice that, you just go on social media on any level and you will see that they still want more space at home. But with home prices hitting record highs, demands for single family rental homes is soaring, and so are the rents. And that's just what it is. And now this isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, family, for two specific reasons. And those specific reasons: one happens to be the national housing shortage before the pandemic, and it has intensified because of the pandemic. And number two, remote jobs will continue to grow. And with that being said, the incentive for people to live in smaller spaces will continue to shrink. And before I even go further about the article and whatnot, it creates a challenge for how different states are, since more jobs are going remote, how people are moving to, no income tax states like Texas. So that they have the opportunity, because if their job is quote unquote listed in, say, a California or New York and whatnot, they still have to, from my understanding, they still have to get taxed from both of those states. Get taxed from, say, if your job is actually listed in New York City and whatnot, you're getting taxed from a New York standard. But if you live in Texas, you're not getting taxed as far as your income goes. It opens actually a Pandora's box for, I can just imagine, for CPAs and things of that nature. So it's a very interesting time. But we'll see where this train continuously goes at the end of the day. All right. Now, the article also stated that single family rent growth showed a strong rebound in April 2021, with all price tiers back above the pre-pandemic rent growth rate. It said Molly Bosell, principal economist at CoreLogic. While rent slowed last April in 2020 at the start of the pandemic, the rate of rent growth that actually occurred in April of 2021 was running above pre-pandemic levels, even when compared with 2019, and shows no signs of diminishing anytime soon. With other hot real estate markets such as Tucson, Arizona, Atlanta, Georgia, and Las Vegas, Nevada, actually saw an uptake to about 2.6% of rents. Areas that saw huge rental declines like Boston, Massachusetts, New York City, Chicago, Illinois was actually up by 5.9% in rent prices. This doesn't surprise me at all, because the incentive for working people to even live in overpriced cities has been going down since for the last decade. The 2020 pandemic just intensified people leaving these overpriced and cold climate major cities. I mean, I always say I got a lot of love and respect for the people that like living in the Midwest, because I'm not a fan of cold weather. So people that love it, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. My mindset is, if you enjoy living there, that's all that matters. The article ended on this note: with home prices continuing to gain at a double digit pace, and more potential buyers being priced out. And this is happening. This was happening before the pandemic. It's just intensified because of the pandemic. Deemed for single family rentals is unlikely to cool down anytime soon. So it's very interesting. And at the end of the day, I couldn't agree with that statement more, because when I rented out one of my single family properties, I was able to raise the rent based on prospective tenants outbidding one another from a rental perspective asset. And I didn't even realize it was happening. The property management company had to let me know that up to 10 people were inquiring about the property, and basically people just up the ante on, well, I'll pay this amount of it, I'll pay this amount of rent, just like people are doing with buying a house nowadays. It's like, okay, it costs 400,000, but one person come and say, well, I'll pay 800,000. I know that's kind of slowed down as well. However, it's starting to actually intensify now in regards to rental prices. So if you're a landlord and you're not a tired landlord, hey, it might be a good time for you, just depending on your situation. Just my personal opinion. Now, you see, it's not only the homeowners who are selling their property and getting top dollar for the property. Now we're seeing landlords getting top dollar for rent when it comes to the single family rental properties. So hey, it's a Royal Rumble. If you remember the old school WWF days, I know it's WWE now. All these like 20 to 30 men in one ring and trying to fight it out to the end and whatnot. And that's what's going on in real estate. It's a straight up Royal Rumble. Everybody's fighting it out to the end. If you don't know, Patterson Our Properties, at the end of the day, we are a wholesale real estate company where we buy tax liens and tax properties from tax liens and tax sales, and we wholesale properties and basically sell them at a great discounted rate and whatnot to real estate investors. If you're an agent, contact us. If you're an investor, contact us. If you're a wholesaler, contact us. If you're a person in a distressed property situation, contact us. We're here to serve and we're here to work with you. If we can't do it, then we can refer you to somebody who can. All right. On that note, do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. And as I always say on my other channel, make money move so you're liberal like a fool. Take care.